When I think of Persona 4, I think of my friends in Inaba. It's hard to put into words how much Persona 4 means to me. What started out as a simple recommendation turned into one of my favorite games of all time, maybe even top of the list. Even though I had concerns at the time about the anime style and absolutely not being into anime at the time, I took a chance on it. How I went from losing interest in Attack on Titan within the first couple of episodes to being completely open to anything anime related, I think that's just a testament to how good this game is. To be fair, I had been pretty starved for games on my Vita at the time, and, creating and playing through a new Minecraft world for the millionth time just wasn't gonna do it. But goofy old Ben from Spanish class had the right idea with this pitch. You see, I've been chasing a high for years. Not just a gaming high, but an experience high. While most games I care this much about come from my childhood, Persona 4 doesn't fit that mold at all. I played this game much later on in life. I was in my second year of college at the time, and while there isn't that younger life nostalgia tied to it, this game creates nostalgia for things that didn't exactly happen. It gave me experiences I never got to have, and reminded me of experiences I did have when I was younger, but kind of lost as I got older. It also taught me a very important lesson that I hadn't quite learned yet. Part of this experience hinges on the setting of the game. I was invited to Inaba, a town that's far away from busy city life. People live slow and simple. You can walk everywhere in town, everyone knows everyone else, the biggest attraction is a new department store that opened up. But Inaba is becoming quite a bit more lively with the recent murder of a TV announcer. You move to the small town from the city while your parents work abroad for the next year. And while in Inaba, you stay with your uncle and your cousin, and you live the normal life of a high school student. You go to class, take part in after-school programs, make friends and hang out with them, visit the local shops and restaurants, and you even arrive just in time to get wrapped up in this TV announcer's murder case. The mainline Persona games, at least from 3 on, are partially social sims, and this social aspect links directly to the dungeon crawling and RPG part of the game. In Persona 4, you will be fighting many monsters in your pursuit of catching the killer. You can collect these monsters as personas and use their abilities as your own. It's like a more mature Pokemon. You definitely aren't going to find any penis-shaped creatures in Pokemon. As you collect them, you can combine them in different ways to create new and more powerful personas. The strength of your relationships will directly affect the outcome of your combinations. The stronger the bond, the stronger the fusion, and the more powerful the persona will be at the end. The game teaches you this early with your guide throughout the game, Igor, saying, the persona ability is the power to control one's own heart, and the heart is strengthened through bonds. His assistant Margaret chimes in to build on this, telling you that at times, your bonds will help light the way to the truth you search for. While that could be taken a little surface level, as meaning that your friends and companions help you find the killer directly through your investigation into the killer, or indirectly through allowing the creation of more powerful creatures to fight with you, I also take it to mean finding the truth of yourself. Through your conversations and relationship building, each of the characters learn something about themselves, and you can learn something about yourself too through those interactions. Chie was my kung fu practice partner. We'd hang out to work on our moves, and even got into a couple of scuffles in the process. She desperately wants to be able to fight in order to protect the people she cares about, especially her best friend Yukiko, who she kind of lives in the shadow of. Playing second fiddle to Yukiko used to really bother her, but throughout her social link she learns to acknowledge that past and move past it, towards the selfless person she ultimately wants to be. Yukiko was my girlfriend in this latest playthrough. I was there for her as she tried to learn the difference between what she wanted and what was expected of her, being expected to run her family's business soon, but not knowing if that's what she wants. She ultimately decides to stay in Inaba to help with the inn versus traveling elsewhere, but at that point, it's because she wants it, and she sees what the inn would be without her. Yosuke was my best friend, my first friend when I moved to Inaba for the summer, and we had a similar story, moving to the town due to family business. Only difference was, while my parents were traveling somewhere else for work, his dad had moved to Inaba to take up a managerial position with the new department store in town, Juness. Yosuke's had a hard time fitting in since moving. Juness has run some of the local shops out of business, and the ones still surviving are taking a really big hit. No one wants to shop local when the fancy new department store has everything you could want or need, and the locals tend to take it out on Yosuke. To them, him and his dad are the reason that they're losing their livelihoods. Rise is a Japanese idol, but she's run away from showbiz due to the pressure being too much. She wants to live a normal life back home in Inaba, where she can hopefully find her real self and stop having to play the Rosette character everyone thinks she is. But by quitting, she feels like she's letting many people down who looked up to her. There's Kanji and Naoto, both friends who struggle with their identity. Kanji struggles squaring his idea of what a real man is with his more emotional and feminine side. Naoto struggles finding her place in a man's world. Looking at it now, very progressive characters for the time. This game came out in 2008, and Golden isn't even the original version. I feel like Kanji had a hand in me realizing that I wasn't a 100% masculine man, and that's okay. Working with Naoto on another case let me see her grow confident in herself and her abilities, despite the fact that she's a woman. While society can try to ostracize her for that, her work speaks for itself. With both, I got to see two friends grow into and accept themselves for who they were. Teddy is interesting. Teddy is the strange, animal, person, shadow creature that is kind of the butt of the joke a lot of the time. He's mostly there for some comedic relief, but he's also trying to figure out who he is and what his purpose is throughout the story. These are just the main group of friends that help you investigate the murder case. There are even more characters that you will meet and hang out with if you spend any amount of time looking around the town. There are even some character-specific clubs you can join in school. If you join the soccer team, you lose out on learning about the basketball team character. If you join the drama club, you lose out on learning about the music club character. In my 4 playthroughs of Persona 4, I still haven't gone through the music club social link. I honestly just feel bad not helping the drama club character. For that summer that I played the game, these were my friends. And the time we spent together was a replacement for the times I should have spent with others when I was the characters' ages. It reminded me of my summers spent in the country as a young boy from the city. During the summers, my family would travel with my dad to a handful of church revivals he would help preach in. Those kids were so much easier to talk to. You had the families that kind of knew each other, so you always had an in there. And I think being a preacher's son and a city boy also gave me an edge with the kids. I'd meet these other kids in the churches and we'd become quick friends as most kids do. We'd play, talk, and joke around outside of the services. There was drama and crushes between the kids that were gossiped about and carried over from revival to revival. These were great times, and I wonder sometimes if they weren't the best times. As I played the game, I was reminded of this. It was so easy to make friends then, and at the time, it never crossed my mind that things wouldn't always be that way. I didn't have those experiences once I got a bit older and entered high school. I'll admit, I slacked off socially at that point. I think I kind of expected it to be as simple as it was in the earlier grades. The little kids are curious. You don't always have to be the one to make the first move to make friends. But people clicked up pretty quickly in high school, and I didn't try very hard to meet new people, so that kinda set me up to be more isolated. I told myself over and over throughout high school, you need to join a club, you need to play a sport. But I didn't join anything until senior year, and it was just the chemistry club. I know, absolutely brilliant idea. It's not one of my greatest moments. Now, I don't want it to seem like I had no friends, but they weren't close friends. I floated between groups, and never really hung out with people outside of school until near the end. I did try harder in college, and tried even harder after my first playthrough of Persona 4, and it did pay off. I made some good friends that I still have to this day, and actually hung out with them outside of classes. This is something I still struggle with to some degree, being close with others. I realized in my recent playthrough of the game that the reason I might feel so strongly towards it is just that. It gave me the opportunity to be close with friends, and taught me the importance of that. Your strength as a person, and your fulfillment in life, comes mostly from the strength of your bonds and how you choose to commit your time. I'm at an age now where it's much harder to hang out with friends. We all have jobs, some of us have families of our own, some of us have moved away, so it's difficult to create the experiences that I remember from Persona 4. It's like a window of time that no one knows about but me. Something that happened, but also really didn't. It's my own personal year of high school that no one else knows about. Inaba to me, and to many others, was a real place we spent time in. I can still hear Nanako singing the Junes song that comes on TV after the news. I still remember the trips to the secret hideout with my friends to discuss progress we'd made on the killer's case. I remember walking the quiet, rain-soaked streets of the shopping district just to get the beef bowl special. I remember the wind rustling the hospital building at night where I worked and absolutely spooking me. I remember Mystery Food X, the fireworks and the ski trip. I remember my friends seeing me off on my last day in Inaba. These are memories that stick with me to this day. While they might not be anything real, they definitely feel that way. A part of me would like to go there one day. Inaba is based on a real town after all. But I don't have to find the real Inaba to feel something similar to what I experienced while playing the game. I only have to find the real Persona 4 friends. Not that I'm gonna run into a real-life Yosuke or Yukiko. More like, I only need to meet the right people and make the effort to get to know them. Your friends in Inaba aren't gonna feel like very close friends if you don't put in any effort after all. You'll just be people who link up every so often to try and solve a mystery. And the townspeople will just be people you run past every day to get to the next goal. Thankfully, I've been able to make progress on that. This game showed me what friendship should look like, and I've made some friends and made some memories with them that can match the heights that I believe the main character in Persona 4 would have felt. It's the effort part that always gets me. But I know that if I forge new connections, and nurture the ones that I have, then I can make new memories. Because I've done it before. I just needed to be reminded. And if I do that, I'll be well paid with connections and memories to last a lifetime.